everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Lookback. This is a series that I do weekly where I go back a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, tell you about the games I took a look at and reviewed those years and what I think about them now. This week, there's nothing from 10 years ago, but we do have stuff from last year and 5 years ago, so let's take a look. First of all, last year I reviewed Avignon, A Clash of Popes. This is a little button-shy, kind of back and forth style game, almost a tug-of-war game that just was really boring. I didn't really like it at all. FARLIGHT. This is from Game Salute. You're building a star station, putting out different... You're auctioning off to get tiles and then building them, and they give you abilities. It just was okay. It's interesting, but it didn't really excite me like I wanted it to. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Comes with a rubber chicken, there's that. This is kind of outguess everybody else. You're collecting chickens in your coop. It's funny, it's silly for kids, but it didn't do enough for me. Telestrations upside drawn. It's a gimmick, right? I hold the pencil, you move the paper underneath it. That's how we draw the picture for Pictionary. It's clever. I think it doesn't have a ton of replayability in a row like we play it. We're like, okay, that was funny, let's go find something else. Cloudspire. Now, this wasn't a review, it was just first impressions. These are still my same first impressions because I don't know how often I'll play it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But if I play it again, I'm going to want to play it with someone who knows it really well and is going to walk me step by step through the game. I can figure out, all the special abilities. If you just remind me, it's a big, heavy game. Tussie Mussy. This is another button-shy game from Elizabeth Hargrave, who did Wingspan. I love the theme of this game, giving flowers back and forth. It's simple. It feels like it could be a little bit more to the game, but it is a pocket game that works well with 2 or more people. Call to Adventure, Name of the Wild, Name of the Wind, Name of the Wild. Name of the Wind, I like the Call to Adventure games. They're very, very simple. They're about telling a story. This one's based on the Name of the Wind series, and it works fine. Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. This is Scooby-Doo themed version of Betrayal at House on the Hill. I like it better, and it works really well with kids because you can always have the adult be, quote-unquote, the bad guy, or if a kid wants to do it. But this way, Shaggy doesn't become the bad guy. The kids still control Shaggy and the gang, and then someone else becomes the bad guy. And it's silly fun, but uses that Betrayal at House on the Hill system. Four Gardens. Well, since me reviewing this a year ago, it's become a Dice Tower Essential, which I'm pleased as punch about. What a great introductory, welcoming game. It's so simple. You're spinning this pagoda, taking resources from that, using those resources to build panoramas in front of you. It's simple, and yet I think gamers could easily get into it. There's a lot of cool aspects to it, and it has that really cool gimmick of a pagoda. Nidavellir. I actually thought about moving this one to a 9.5. I just played it again last week. Love Nidavellir. What a fantastic game as you're just collecting dwarfs, but the system of coins works so well. If I have 5 players and we have 45 minutes, this is probably the game of choice. It just is such a great game. 5 years ago, I took a look at Gas Out. Every year, for the past 6 years or so, I go to Target, buy a bunch of games. Yeah, this one's terrible. If you want a device that makes passing gas sounds, yay. Tiffin, man, I want to like this game. The idea of delivering lunches in India is a really cool aspect there. It's pretty neat, but the production of this one's terrible, and the game itself is just so slow and boring. Seafall. Man, what a game. We were so excited. It's 5 years ago. I was thrilled to try out Seafall, but the more I played it, the less interested I got. It's a legacy game where the legacy part isn't that interesting, but the game itself is frankly a little boring. This one just, it's grand, it's a neat idea, but just didn't come to fruition. Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sails. Of all the Ticket to Rides, this is the one I do not like. It's bigger, it's longer, adds a few more rules. I just don't know who was asking for that. I just didn't really enjoy it. It was just too much going on for a Ticket to Ride game. MACHI KORO, Bright Lights, Big City. I like MACHI KORO fine. It waffles between this rating of a 6 and a 7. The thing about MACHI KORO is I like it. I think I like MACHI KORO better when there's less take that cards, and there was even more in this version. Great Dinosaur Rush. Neat idea. Archaeological game. Trying to dig up bones, build them. A lot of cool concepts in this game. It's a little repetitive if you play it multiple times, which is why it didn't get a 7. But there's a lot of neat ideas in it too. Brink. So Brink is this dexterity game where you have this round piece and then you're stacking things. It's a silly stacking game that feels unique, and it's also almost like a work of art. You come by, you're like, oh, well, that's cool, I want to play. Any game that does that, I enjoy. Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. So I dinged this one half a point from 7.5 to 7. It's fine, it's good. I am a little tired of Cthulhu. There's a lot of Pandemic games out there, and I found that I don't really, I just would rather play Pandemic over this one myself, the base game Pandemic or one of the legacy games, which is why I was like, it's not as exciting for me, that's all. Bloodborne card game, same thing. I love the concept of it. I don't care about Bloodborne, although now I played Bloodborne card game and Bloodborne board game. I think I like the card game better because it's simpler, has a nice rock, paper, scissors aspect to it. But I've also found that it doesn't hit the table that much, and it's a little bit of a pain to explain to people. And there's a couple monsters that I don't like. So all those things, I was like, it's probably not an 8, it's probably a 7. Vast Crystal Caverns, another one that dropped down, but very rarely, and that's only because Root's out, and I like Root a lot better. Vast is really cool, don't get me wrong. The idea of a dungeon where someone is playing the dungeon, and someone's playing, it's just so cool, it's so asymmetrical, it's a neat game. It's just that there's better asymmetrical games out there. Ticket to Ride First Journey. This is for kids. A fantastic Ticket to Ride game for kids. Clank. What can I say about Clank? There's another one I thought about increasing to a 9. They came out with Clank in Space, which was great, but Clank is better, I think, because it's so simple and all the expansions make it super fun. A deck building dungeon crawl. I love it. And then Lost Cities, I re-reviewed that. It didn't come out 5 years ago, but I took a look at the new version of it with the 6 color. I don't think you need the 6 color. It takes a little bit of the tension out of the game, but Lost Cities, still a classic 2-player card game from Reiner Knizia. And that's what I took a look at a year and 5 years ago. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time on Look Back. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel. Have a great day.